Hello and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. My name is Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl. And today I'm going to be reading with the Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce. And I'm joined by my foster girl, Snooki. Hey, Snooki. She likes to be involved in absolutely everything that I'm doing. She likes to be front and center. If I'm painting, she tries to sit on the painting. If I'm reading, she wants to sit on the book. Whatever I'm doing, she likes to be right there. All right, so I'm going to begin by drawing 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And my intention is to get some ideas, some inspiration, some overview about the kinds of opportunities and energies that are going to be coming up for us this week. All right, let's start with the first card. So this is for Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week, and we have 5 of Wands. And this deck has keywords written on the cards. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but let's see if I can zoom in a little here. The keywords on this card are competition, debate, and defense. So 5 of Wands is often a card of, like the card says, competition. It's often a card of like competition. I think of it as kind of what happens when a bunch of people are in a room together or trying to work on a project or something like that, and everyone has a very different idea of how they want things to go. When you get like a bunch of different kind of personalities, different people with different agendas, and you put them all together, you usually will get some sort of perhaps conflict or some kind of competition. And with this card, we have the 2 leopards or cheetahs, and they're kind of looking at each other, kind of sizing each other up. So what I get from this card is that we're starting off the week on kind of a competitive note. And for some of us, when we're in a when we feel like we have to compete, sometimes that brings out the best in us. And for some people, it brings out the worst. I'm not a particularly competitive person, and I don't find competition motivating at all. So you may find you kind of run into people who are very competitive or who really want to kind of throw their weight around. You may even find yourself in situations this week where there's a lot of different ideas from different people, different agendas, and just different ideas of how things should be done. And that may either give you energy or it might sap your energy depending on your personality. So what I'm really getting from this card as I look at it, actually, you know what? Let's come back to this card. I'm not 100% sure what to make of it other than what I've just said. So let's move on and then we'll come back to this card. So let's move on to the next card. This is the card for the middle of the week. So Wednesday, Thursday-ish. And here we have the Queen of Swords. And the keywords on this card are strength, ambition, truth. And I actually just did a deep dive into the Queen of Swords. I just posted my video the other day. So I feel very familiar with this card right now. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about this card. So the Queen of Swords in the middle of the week. I feel like the message is that we want to align with our inner Queen of Swords, the inner qualities that we have that are Queen of Swordsy. So in this case, I think that we're going to be really well served by tapping into our more clear-headed, rational minds. So moving forward with a clear head, being able to cut through the confusion and the distractions to really get to the heart of the matter and what's really going on, and really being able to speak your truth, being open and honest and direct and straightforward. That's what's going to serve us this week, is being very straightforward, not beating around the bush with anything. This is how we're really going to stand in our power this week. And whatever challenges we might face or whatever opportunities we might face, really channeling our inner Queen of Swords is what's going to kind of position us to succeed. Okay, let's look at the last card for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have the Knight of Wands. And the keywords on this card are flow, fire, and intuition. Which is funny, I don't really necessarily associate the Knight of Wands with intuition, but okay. So what I love about this card, what I'm really noticing about the Knight of Wands, is the eye on her heart, on her chest plate. And that really does speak to sort of seeing with your heart and feeling forward. So really using your intuition and feeling your way forward. All right, so what does this card mean for us this week? The Knight of Wands is definitely a card of moving forward, and moving forward with a sense of energy and inspiration. The Knight of Wands is very adventurous, and this weekend might be a good time to go on a bit of an adventure, or at least indulge your adventurous side. And pay attention to where you feel drawn. Where is your heart leading you? What is it that you want to explore or dip your toe into this weekend? So the Knight of Wands is also about taking action. The Knight of Wands does not sit on her laurels for very long. This is all about moving forward and taking action. So what is it that you would like to take action on this weekend? Whatever actions you take have the potential to really move you forward quickly this weekend. Okay, is there anything else I want to say about the Knight of Wands? I feel like the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands really go together nicely. The Queen of Swords is really about having a clear head and looking at things rationally and objectively and thinking things through, kind of thinking before you speak, speaking your truth, but thinking before you speak. So the Queen of Swords would never just blurt something out, even though she knows how to speak her truth. And, you know, getting to the heart of the matter is very important to her. And she has almost this tendency to be kind of blunt and just really straightforward. She always thinks before she speaks. She doesn't just she doesn't just like blurt out things and then think, oh shit, why did I say that? She's very calculating in that way. She thinks things through, thinks before she speaks. And together with the Knight of Wands, these two are a really powerful force. It's about kind of harnessing the power of your mind, your ability to focus and be direct, with the energy and the passion and also the intuition and fire of the Knight of Wands in order to move you forward. So I do feel like this is a good week, especially towards the end of the week. It's a good time to get clear on goals and what kinds of things you want to act on, where you want to go, what direction you're going in. It's a good time to kind of think about those sorts of things. Okay, let's come back to the Five of Wands, because this card kind of confused me a little bit at first. And I said, I'm going to come back to this. So now we have to come back to this tricky, difficult card. Okay. So whenever I'm struggling with a card, I ask myself, what stands out to me on this card? What symbol is jumping out at me? And what's really jumping out at me is the two cheetahs, and they're looking at each other. And they seem to be kind of staring each other down, kind of assessing each other. There's this like kind of competition. And what I'm getting from that is that at the beginning of the week, there may be something that's challenging. And it might be something minor. I don't think it's anything like massive or major, because then we'd have a major arcana card. But there's some kind of challenge, something that you are going to be challenged to kind of step up to the plate with. This could just be, you challenging yourself in some way, or some kind of situation or other person who is kind of challenging you. And one way to move through that challenge is to get clear on your values and what is important to you in that situation. Because any kind of conflict can be resolved if you find sort of common ground with the other person. And yeah, so finding common ground, I think, is a theme with this card. And also just using any kind of challenges that might come your way as an opportunity to kind of build energy, because we can feel depleted by a challenge, or we can actually feel kind of inspired by it. It can be energizing. So I think the key here is to find a way to be energized by any kind of challenges that come up this week. Now, what's nice is that the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands are here to say that you're moving forward this week, no matter what challenges or what obstacles pop up for you. You're moving forward, and you have a lot of strength this week that you can tap into. You have that strength of the Queen of Swords, her directness, her focus, her clear-headedness. That is really what's standing out to me, is that the Queen of Swords is really a card of clarity and staying true to yourself, and finding that mental clarity is what's really going to help you this week. And then with the Knight of Wands, of course, I've talked about her and the passion about moving forward, adventure, and all that. So interesting week. It will be interesting to see how it all plays out. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to leave me a comment or let me know kind of how you interpret the Five of Wands, what do you get from this card? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com, I'll put the link below this video. All kinds of fun tarot exercises and videos for you to check out there. So again, I've been using the Wandering Star Tarot by Kat Pierce for this reading. And thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week.